Good morning. It's Wednesday, December 2nd. If you're waiting for a stimulus check this year, you may have a long wait. Don't expect to get any stimulus check this year. Congress is only talking about a budget package so that the government continues working, because that's set to expire, I think, on December 11th. So those who are in need of a stimulus check are sort of caught between a rock and a hard place. Now, the Republicans and the Democrats agree that there ought to be another stimulus package, but they can't come to agreement on what the broader economic aid package should be like. Now, it's possible that some relief programs could be added to the broader spending bill that they're going to prepare. But if they don't do anything, those programs are going to expire on December 31st. And that includes expanded unemployment benefits, the eviction moratorium, and the pause in student loan payment. In the most recent stimulus package proposal that was put forward by the Republicans, who you know currently control the Senate, didn't include any money for direct payments. Now, President-elect Biden supports a $3 trillion Democratic-backed bill that passed back in May, and we all know that the Republicans are against that. So, remember that more than 160 million Americans received stimulus payments earlier in the year after the $2 trillion package was passed. But most of the people have spent that $1,200. So it's really time to get moving on another package. And this next package we have to include expanded unemployment benefits, because that $600 payment that people got lasted only about 4 months. And then they had another 2 payments that run out around December 26th. So there is an unemployment compensation package that has to be put together. And along with that, they have to do something about the student loan pause. Now, this pause was supposed to end in September, but President Trump extended it to December 31st by an executive action, of course. But if Congress doesn't act and Trump doesn't act, then millions of student loan payments are going to come due a couple of days before Biden takes office on January 20th. And even if Biden reinstates the pause retroactively, it could and probably will create confusion for borrowers as well as a mess for the student loan processors, who aren't particularly good at suddenly stop or starting payments, So that's a mess. And then you have eviction protection. Now, eviction protection applies to renters who meet certain income requirements. And now it's like when I lived in the projects, I could only earn a certain amount of money. If I earned more than that, they tossed me out on my ass. That's why I bought a house in Smithtown, because they threw me out of the project. So in any event, if these people aren't given continued protection, then without any rent relief or an extension of the protection, then these struggling renters will probably be evicted. Or they'll face eviction, which is a miserable thing to face. And basically, the eviction protection only covered tenants who receive some kind of federal assistance or live in rental properties with federally backed financing. But all of those protections vanished over the summer. And there's one last item you should know about, because everybody, I'm sure, felt good about these packages, these stimulus packages. However, in the underlying operation of carrying out these packages, there are certain glitches that occurred, and I want to tell you about one of them. A government watchdog report has found that millions of jobless Americans have not been getting their full unemployment payments. Most states have been paying the claimants in the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program the minimum benefit. Now, most of you know, I would hope you know, that unemployment benefits are based upon your income. So if you're a low-wage earner, you do not get maximum unemployment benefits. But if you are a high-wage earner, then your benefit would be larger. But what's happened is that most states have been paying claimants the minimum instead of the amount that they're eligible to collect based upon prior earnings. Now, you're making an excuse for the states. They probably did this to get the program up and running for certain categories of workers, and they never recalculated payments for anybody else. Now, the states should be making up the difference, but the Department of Labor doesn't know how many states actually have gone ahead to make up the difference. So there's 41 states reporting data that the pandemic program average paid from about $114 a week to $357 a week. Now, the unemployment assistance program associated with the pandemic has been shaky from the start, and it's been a target of fraud across the nation. Many states had inadequate identification processes in place. So people could get 2 checks instead of 1. And sometimes they miscalculate. They count weekly checks as individual payments. And so they're reporting more people collecting unemployment than actually collected, because they're counting by check instead of by person. And there's all kinds of things that are going on, and probably because of the volume of unemployment insurance checks that had to be taken care of. So that's a big unintended consequence of this pandemic. And they probably wasted hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars by screwing these things up at the state level. And right now, it's very unclear as to actually how many people are receiving benefits. So here we have a situation where accurate data is critical to design a new program going forward for stimulus package. And if you don't have accurate data, you're going to screw that package up badly. And it just goes to show you how inept our government is in a real crisis in certain areas. You would think that unemployment insurance could easily be handled, but that's not the case. So in any event, I hope I haven't thoroughly confused you this morning, but that's the way it is, and hopefully we'll get a stimulus package that really works, and we'll get ourselves out of this mess soon. So having said all of that, I will say goodbye and see you in the morning. Bye.